Hey, fuck you for watching this bullshit, and fuck Joe for starting the stream. And fuck Kurt too. I don't know what he did, but
He obviously did something. That fucking guy.
it is now. Fuck Mike for not being here.
That's right. Fuck him. Pour one out. Yeah. I am shocked that you were at all interested in even trying this, because it doesn't seem like anything that would come out for this company, generally speaking, is your jam. I mean, I was gonna say, aside from nerds, but like main game type things. I guess the other stuff happened, but uh, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but at their heart, they're very sort of techie engineering, like puzzly kinds of things. Either you're trying to program a thing or build a thing based on, parameters that you can do with the gear that they give you, right? So like Space Chem, and Infinifactory, and they did one visual novel. Yeah, they did one visual novel.
Not bad.
Right. So there you go.
Well, it's for $15 a month. It's or whatever. Yeah, depending.
Yeah. So there are things in here you might be interested in, but overall, yeah. Also free. Yeah. 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 The conceit is that you have gotten one of these Power Lance computers and hooked it up to a BBS and are essentially exploring it and playing with it. And you download games from the BBS or programs. They're not necessarily all games per se, right? Some of them are about designing chips and this and that. So you like connect to the BBS and you download a thing and it goes onto your desktop, and then you fire it up and you fiddle with that for a while, and then you do another one.
Okay, so for anybody who's not like 1,000 years old, what does a BBS mean?
A bulletin board system. So it's what the internet used to be.
Right.
Yeah. No. So a BBS is actually like someone would have a computer that was running the bulletin board software. They would hook it up to a modem and you would call it and connect and then interact with it. And some of them had games and some of them just had chats that you would do and so on. So I was being a little facetious when I said it's what the internet used to be, right? When you would reach out outside of your computer, right? Because that at first that wasn't a thing. Um, yeah, you had to pay for the phone call. Yeah, and so you'd connect up and you could play games on the BBS in some cases. So you might have like proto multiplayer games. Yeah, I was gonna say plays the mud. Yeah. Yep. Right. Yeah,
And he still jerks off to ASCII porn, and he still.
that's right. Has he gotten a 2400 baud modem yet? Okay.
He does all that while wearing Zubaz pants, and
Nice. And then his mom picks up the phone and disconnects him, and then like, right. Nice.
150 milliseconds of ping.
Yeah. In fact, this is one of the things I always enjoy about Zachtronics stuff. Yeah.
What you should maybe start by doing is logging onto the BBS.
Yeah, you actually should connect to the BBS first, because what will happen is you can download stuff, but there's a timer. So you'll download a thing, and then you can't download another until 15 real minutes go by. So if you kick that off and then explore the things that you have, then at some point you can connect back up and download something else. Yep. Yep.
Start with Last Call BBS. You can check the others out if you want. They're just not as exciting.
Right.
But can I just say that in the real years when I was actually doing BBS stuff, nothing that I touched looked nearly this good. The computer, the operating system, the bulletin boards.
It's sort
none them
of
were nearly this
but
stylish.
it's in the way that a lot of things are these days. It's what you remember in your mind's eye that it was like, even though it was nowhere close to this. That is 100%.
With a Z.
Whereas, yes. Yep. The first episode,
yeah.
The first episode was free, and then you shareware the rest. Neat. And there's some stuff you'll see as you launch stuff talking about cracks and this and that, which all
I love
all
it.
harken back to
love
that
it.
stuff. Yeah, it's great.
God. Go follow your heart, Joe. I'm gonna download the same thing as you. Actually, I got the game fired up here.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Think you're good, man. I did not. Well, were you accessing the internet through a BBS? Because those all sound like web pages.
I was about to say, were you going through AOL? Yeah. So this is all accurate, right? You would say, okay, I want to download this thing, and then it would start doing that. So you can go play solitaire while this is happening. Yeah, and it will, like, this is not simulated. It will count down 2 minutes or whatever for it to download the thing. Yeah. You did. And this is, accurate to the time period in that you just download the thing and there's no manual, it's just like, well, I'll fiddle around with it and figure it out. And sometimes you can't. And sometimes you can't because they're broken and you don't realize that.
Hopefully not in this game.
Yeah, that's not true here.
I haven't downloaded anything that seemed broken.
Yeah, they didn't simulate that part.
So another thing that's unrealistic about this game is these download times. I was downloading for way longer than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Even on a 50.
And you didn't want to interrupt your download because there was no way to continue.
There was no starting it over.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd get to like 92%, and then somebody would pick up the phone and fuck everything up, and you have to start all over again. And then you get into an argument with your parents because you had the phone line tied up for hours on end. And
ace up to king. So
I think right near the end of my
ace
BBS
2-3.
thing, I think there was a transfer software that would let you resume, but it was like a very fancy thing that only came along towards the end.
Any of you kids use Kermit back in the day?
I do
It
not
was
recall.
a very popular data transfer software that you could use way back when.
No, I didn't. By the time I was on the internet, it was the internet.
Yeah.
Like I had like a local ISP, and
Yep.
I mean, it was still like a 56
Right.
modem or whatever. It was like 1999, so there was like.
Yep.
Was the
I'm not
era
gonna
of
lie,
the million AOL free trial discs and stuff like that. But
I'm not gonna lie, Eric, you did miss out. I think that the BBS era was very cool.
probably, yeah, I definitely did. But like, we didn't even have a computer until like 1999.
So before AOL, there was a thing called CompuServe, which was sort of like a nationwide BBS kind of thing. That was very popular amongst the techie folks.
Yeah, it's not even the BB. Like, I feel like I missed out on like building computers in that era. Also, like having to like shuffle, like having to actually interact with a computer rather than just like snap a bunch of shit together and then either the thing works or it doesn't. Basically,
you mean
just
configuring computers?
Yes,
I feel like you didn't build your own PC as much back then. I don't know. Maybe that's just my experience, but my dad.
Well, in some cases, you would have had to like solder stuff together and stuff, right? If you really wanted to try and.
My father and I, when I was in high school. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My father and I actually built a Heathkit computer when I was in high school. And we used that as our main computer for quite a while. He actually did graduate work at University of Maryland on it with a 300 baud modem. Yeah, I would expect that is real Japanese, not. Yeah.
Magical Drop.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't work like Magical Drop, so I'm not making any progress. And I didn't entirely understand what the rules were. You're gonna have to double check.
Yep. Yeah, because I played it on that computer. I played a bunch of Infocom text adventure games on that computer.
Oh, Joe, have you found the 2x graphics option on the emulator?
59 frames a second.
I like that it's fluctuating, even though it's almost certainly not actually.
Yeah.
All right, you got to make chains of 4.
Yeah. You got to make groups of 4. Right.
But in Magical Drop, you can grab multiple ones of the same color. Whereas in this one, you can reverse the 2 that are at the bottom of a row. I want to do the gray ones. So, Kurt, I take it you've played this one before.
I have, but I played this. I played a bunch of this when it came out, and I haven't played it since then. Just because I've been doing other stuff, not because I didn't enjoy it. So I don't actually recall too much about all the specifics until we like fiddle with them.
Which games do you remember spending a lot of time with?
The dragons and whatever. Let me fire it up myself.
The Minesweeper clone.
Let me fire it up and all.
I could see you liking that, whatever that one's called. I forget also. But it's like a Minesweeper clone. I could see you enjoying that. It destroys my brain. I could barely finish the first level.
Yes, that is one that I spent a bunch of time with. I just downloaded them in order.
Oh, okay.
So that's part of it too. Is I was just like, well, I'll do number 1 first, and I spent a bunch of time playing that one while other ones were downloading.
Just because it does kind of make you want to play Magical Drop.
I also
like
spent a whole
Money
bunch of
Puzzle
time-
Exchanger or something.
Dungeons and Diagrams is the one I was thinking of. I also spent a whole bunch of time with Steed Force Hobby Studio, which is a simulation of building Japanese robot models.
Steed Force.
And so I had a lot of fun with that. There's not really a game per se there. I mean, not even per se. There's no game there. You just like literally, cut out
the middleman.
The middleman. No, you literally cut out
like a simulator.
Plastic model pieces off of sprues and then snap them together and make a robot model. And you can paint them in the game as well, or in the thing as well, but I didn't do that. Because I don't have the patience to do that, even in a simulation.
So, Joe, if you get tired of playing fake Magical Drop, you should try the Solitaire game because it has a really kickin' soundtrack.
It does. Yeah. That is one thing that I appreciate about the Zachtronics stuff is they always include a Solitaire-like game in all of their main games, and they're usually all pretty dang good.
Do the cards?
This one actually has 2.
Do the cards dance if you win?
They do not.
Well,
I have
this
not
game's
won.
bullshit,
I don't
then.
think.
Yeah, that's true. You can connect to the other things. Eight 441 At the tone, the time will be 8:47 and 30 seconds.
I mean, I grew up in the 80s. I didn't know anyone who didn't have a watch, right? It was the era of cheap Casios and Swatches.
But still, you could be like, oh, I got to set my clock. What time is it?
I feel like everyone owned like 75 watches when I was a kid.
It was always Swatch time around Mike's house. Yep. Yep. Right. Right. Um, yeah, and that for those that aren't familiar, that stuff that all happened as he was connecting, all those noises and all that stuff. That's all legit, right? Your modem would connect up uh, to the other end, and that was the sound of your modem and their modem talking to each other and synchronizing and going about its business.
And the modem handshake sound would always depend on what speed of modem you had, I want to say.
Yeah. Yep.
So if you want to try something weird, I don't know if you got around to playing this one, Kurt, but there's one called The Forbidden Path.
That one is very weird. I didn't spend a bunch of time with it. I needed to get back to it, but
I think it's the one that I find the most fun so far, but I haven't downloaded. I think my long-term favorite is probably going to be the food court one.
Yeah, that's essentially similar to like Infinifactory and that kind of stuff.
But I have not downloaded that one yet. I've only downloaded about half the games. But so far, I've been finding the Forbidden Path to be very interesting and also just enjoyably weird.
It is definitely weird. So the non-conceit version of this is effectively, as Joe noted at the beginning, Zachtronics is ceasing to produce new games. So this is their last release. They're going to support the games that they've already put out, but this is it for new things. At least that's what they've said so far. And so this is a lot of what's in here is sort of ideas that they had in prototypes that they had done over time, or things that Zach had in his design notebook or whatever that they basically fleshed out and put together. So part of why it's kind of, there's a whole bunch of different stuff is, some are not necessarily quite as deep as they would have normally done for a full on release. Yeah, I don't know that there is a guarantee that any of these deals actually turn into a win. And there's no like undo or any of that stuff, which is a standard thing in their solitaire setups. It's like you do whatever you can, and you get to a point where you either win or you crap out and you redeal, which is fine.
I mean, that's true in a lot of solitaire variants, just not a lot of more recent ones, I think.
Right. Yeah. Can you redeal? That's what I can't remember. Yeah. You can't go through the pack again. I mean, yeah.
It does help to view the rules. Store a single card. It just becomes a usable space.
Yeah. You can't put it there now. Yeah, if you hadn't put it over there, you could have moved the, the 10, say, the red 10. Not get that 3. Well, you could have thrown the 3 clubs over, do that to pull the other 3, but then that doesn't really get you anywhere either. So, and there's actually 2 solitaire games in this one. There's this one that comes in, and there's another one, and that one is tough in a different way. This one is, very free cellish. That one is slightly different. Move a queen. Red queen. I'm a little behind. Not that necessarily helps you, but I mean, yeah. You can get either of the threes out. The 8.
8 and 9, 4 and 5.
Yep. Guess I do the other one. Yeah.
You can move a king over.
That
Or
gives you
old
the-
guys
well,
play solitaire. Let's go.
That sounds familiar.
Probably clear to download something new at this point if you want.
The Forbidden Path.
I like the Forbidden. I haven't played the Food Port one. I'm saving it because I think I'm gonna like it. I've been playing a bunch of the Forbidden Path, which is enjoyably strange and really of an era of PC games that means a lot to me. Mm-hmm. I love that its official name is Ixbpk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One thing that you may or may not appreciate is that this compilation has a whole other solitaire game in it.
I did. I like that one more. There's an interesting difficulty selection. You essentially choose how many like top slots you want to use, and that gives you more or less room to maneuver. But when what a maneuver, and then if you put stuff in there in those top slots, then end up getting you end up locking yourself out of them in interesting ways. So you don't, unlike some sort of like spider variants and stuff like that, where as you're playing, you're freeing yourself up because you're consolidating more. That doesn't happen as readily in that one. This is an interesting sort of twist. Yeah, the music for most of the Zachtronics games is all done by a guy named Matthew Burns. And he does some pretty good stuff.
The only Zachtronics game before this I spent a lot of time with was Space Chem, and the soundtrack to that was by a French guy,
Yeah.
Evan Ellie, which
Yeah.
was a really good soundtrack, which I still put on sometimes when I want to be productive. Just absolute best productivity music. All right, you should fire that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
There's like a back and forth across a couple of the games.
There are two rival groups.
Yeah. It's nice.
This crew won't be stopped.
Yeah, there was a huge cat and mouse effort that went on in this era of gaming as publishers or developers would try and make it so that their games couldn't be pirated, and then pirates would bust their ass to crack it open so that they could distribute it on BBSs. And so there was a kind of a tech race amongst these groups to figure out how to get around the copy protection. Yeah. They're probably the cracked versions. Yeah. Yeah, back in the day, they did some crazy shit. Doing things like manipulating the floppy disk controllers and like error tracks and blank tracks and variable speed reads and writes to just basically screw with the ability for someone to try and emulate or get past an official release.
All right, so this game does not come with instructions.
And that's because it was cracked.
I suppose you're right. And built-in help systems were not very common in the early 90s. I will say, so I love the aesthetic of this game. This game is absolutely like an early VGA game. It's got the sound is perfect. Like it reminds me a lot of Dune, the PC version of Dune, which is kind of from about a similar era. Although I guess the resolution is impossibly high on this computer that we're working with because
well, it's a Z5.
It is a Z5. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a much nicer computer than I ever had in 1992. But so this is secretly, it doesn't seem like it at first, but this is basically actually a programming game. So
yeah.
Zachtronics, act surprised,
Yeah.
And you're basically coming up with different rules that will be applied in sequence to your glob, and you're trying to get it to fill out the shape requested, basically. And you can convert any type of glob cell can specialize to become bits of skin and bone. And I don't know. I just think this game is really neat and gross and weird in a way that I can really get behind.
It puts me in there was a Mac. I think it was. I don't remember if it was Mac only. But there was a game. The puzzle game called. Let me look. See if I can find it. Yeah, it was called Troubled Souls. And so it was. Yeah, it was a puzzle game in which it was sort of like Pipe Dream, right? You'd get pieces and you'd put them down in a grid and you'd try and connect things up. But it also made them disappear and all this stuff. But it had this like freaky, bone and biomechanical aesthetic to it. Very sort of Giger-esque kind of things with a really, trippy soundtrack that sort of matched that whole vibe. That definitely appealed to me at that time.
So I've played through about half of the puzzles. Come on, Joe. Grok, grok, grok.
Grok, 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 rock and roll high school.
You gonna grok around the clock?
What's your last step right now? All right, so you need to start with the blood vessel and convert to skin. So you see on the left where you've got a little skin cell surrounded by green gray squares. That's got to be the kind of cell you have now, as opposed to the kind you want. So you got to make that like the little cell. Boom. Gross flesh construction complete.
Yeah, it's like a weird centipede or something.
There's a glyph you have to click once you have the solution. It's on the, of course,
I mean,
unintelligible glyph.
Duh, it's that glyph right there.
You guys didn't take Glyph 101?
Did you get your glyph notes?
Mhm. That's why Joe didn't know what the glyph was.
Mm-hmm.
Haha.
So yeah, if you play farther into these games, you get more story. So
Yep.
which means I'm never going to find the whole story because that dungeon puzzle game is going to destroy my brain. There's so many puzzles in that game, and I got to the second one, and I was like, I can't do this.
You just gotta break it down into chunks.
Growing goopy flesh monsters is a little closer to my my speed.
There you go.
Algorithmic goopy flesh monsters.
Yeah.
Because this is a Zachtronics game, you actually have multiple attempts. You can have like different configurations you can try out. The four little icons on the right side. So if you mess up or if you're not sure you're doing the right thing, you can click on another one, and it'll give you like a fresh template. And then apparently you can somehow mix them together in a way that I have not understood. Guess I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
I shared a video in the Discord chat of Troubled Souls for those that want to check it out later. You want the cell on the left, and then the after needs to be the other thing. You want to turn it into the...
So you see, I'm on one of the later puzzles now, and I'm having the problem where I think I've got a technique that works, but I'm running out of steps. Like there's only 12. There's only 12 steps for you to use, and now I'm just like, damn, I don't have any more.
The Zachtronics game for you. Shit, I gotta go back and re-optimize. Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has not, but still hot and bothered about it.
Yeah. He had a child, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. What are we talking about?
The miracle of life.
Last Call Babies.
Yep.
Yeah, it's about that scene in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze.
Familiar, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a weird choice, but
Looks like some kind of a puzzle game.
Yep.
it's like a fake BBS where you download a bunch of different puzzle games.
Fake BBS, fake games, fake computer.
Fake BBS, real games. You know.
It's a fake board of behavioral sciences.
Oh, hail the new Flash.
Yeah. You beat me to it.
Get it right.
Can't be a coincidence.
I was gonna say, are you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Our house?
You mean David
the
Byrne?
One in the middle of the street?
In the middle of the street.
David Byrne? What?
Thank you.
I know.
Burning down our house in the middle of the street.
This is not your beautiful house, okay? This is not your beautiful wife. This is a movie we're talking about. Joe. Stop talking about that.
How did we get here?
Oh my God.
I actually married Hellraiser, the film franchise, so it is my wife.
Oh my God. What have I done?
The good one?
Did he rewind it?
One of the good ones? I mean, yeah, that's true of any anthology. I haven't seen that one yet.
Pinhead is woke
Sure.
now. I know. I know there was. I know there was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diz.
Diz? When you say somewhat feminine voice, now I imagine Pinhead with like one of the Monty Python dudes dressed as a lady.
Some lonely filth down here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, how'd you do?
Now it's not as
Experience
scary.
pleasures you've never experienced before.
What pleasure is that?
What if Pinhead was
How
a
do
gum
you
boy?
know?
Pinhead, instead of Pinhead, it's just a
Good
British,
science.
yeah, a British guy with his underwear on his head.
For those that enjoyed the original and or the second and maybe nothing else for that, this is the implication I was putting forth, and haven't read any of the books of blood, you should check that shit out. There's some real good stories in there. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Beats for my sweet.
The story that either inspired or was ripped off to make Mastodon's Colony of Birchmen is in there.
Can I briefly interrupt to say that Doom 64 is free on Epic Game Store if you want that, and it stops today. So if you're watching the stream right now, or one of like you guys,
yeah,
I feel like a chump. I paid like $1.50 for that on Steam 2 weeks ago.
yeah, well, you
You
lost
idiot.
fucking yeah. I was gonna say you lost $1.50, you chump, but kind of got beat to it. Anyway.
Download number 3, the Steed Force Hobby Studio, just so you can see putting together plastic Gundam models. I think that's a nice.
You're gonna love it, Joe. You're gonna love it.
It's a nice difference in like shows kind of what kind of different stuff is in here.
There's one thing I know about Joe. It's that he's a big Gundam guy.
That's a good question.
It's a fine question.
I do not have the answer.
I do not know the answer. It would seem like something I should know the answer to, but I do not.
That's just life, man. Sometimes you just can't do anything with it.
Wow, it's too real.
You excited about the Witch from Mercury? Joe? The Witch from Mercury, the new Gundam show? You're a big Gundam guy. We were just talking about that. Did you watch the prologue? Mm. What? You're a big Gundam guy. Everybody's always talking about it. There's a ton of Gundam. It depends on. Some are bad, some are good. It's all.
How much Gundam do I like? Nundum.
Maybe some them. Let's. Nah, dude, they're right. I'm just imagining fucking like young Joe just getting fucking pissed while fucking like White Reflection plays in the background. Oh no, don't talk to that guy. I lied. You shouldn't trust him. He's bad. He's bad for you, Joe. Stay away.
True. True.
So I just want to say I won my first game of the regular solitaire in this, and while it does not do, of course, the Windows bouncy card thing at the end, it is kind of neat because once you've cleared, once it's obvious that you should put a card up on your ace pile, it will just go there, and once you get to a certain point, all the cards just kind of zip
Press
up onto
tab.
the piles by themselves. It's kind of fun.
I think it's tab. Brings up your tools.
Can you break pieces in this game?
Nope. Yeah, so yeah, grab those and then clip away. When you clip all of the connectors, the sprue will just disappear.
The sprue?
Yeah.
That's a word?
Yep.
That's the
Nice.
the plural of. Fuck, I don't know. Never mind. Yeah, I tried. I'm sorry.
So there's just a whole lot of clicking in this, huh?
It's a lot of clicking. And then you'll snap it all together.
Have you got a spudger to push those pieces together, or
You do not. Yeah, you do not need to do that.
This is not Spudger Simulator
No.
2000. That's too bad.
Um,
I just like
you can
I
also
just
bring
like
up-
saying the word Spudger.
I
We're
like
aware.
you saying
we're
it
aware.
too. Yeah.
Spudger is one
Yeah.
of the best words.
You can also bring up the box lid so you can kind of see, or the instructions or whatever, so you can kind of see like, what am I trying to build? I'm trying to remember what the command is for that.
Alt F4.
No.
Got him.
Boom.
Delete local content.
I believe it's you hit tilde to bring up the command console and then type BOFA.
BOFH, bastard operating
jeez,
from height.
nuts. Thank you for playing along. This has been On the Stick or whatever. Goodbye.
Let me find it. It is. That's part of why I wanted you to play with it, because it's like it actually is pretty fun. In wash space, space bar. Try space bar. Yeah. Yeah. See, there's the diagram of the robot, which can be helpful when you're like, what the fuck is this part supposed to be? And why don't these two things go together? Oh, because this is from the top and this is from the bottom. All right, hold on.
There is a Gundam game that's like a mobile game apparently where you can do something like this. But I was gonna say there should be a game that's like this, like literally, like that's a thing you can do in a game that does other stuff. There should be a officially licensed Gunpla game that is this. They would make a killing.
They would make a killing.
Me
yeah,
too.
I'm shocked.
Me too.
But they would charge you so much more.
Oh yeah, I mean, fuck. People are paying $1 million for the.
Those are
actual thing,
elbows.
You know.
Yeah.
You know that if there was an official Gunpla one, they'd be charging you like 60% the price of the physical kits for each downloadable one.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'd charge you for the thing, which would include maybe one kit, and then they'd charge you, like you said, 60% of the things
like
for additional
$25
kits.
for one robot.
Then they would charge
Costs a lot.
60% more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for all the plastic.
I don't want to put my robo thighs.
There is a new trial.
There are only like 3 kits in this, by the way. So.
Well, that stinks.
3 or 4. Okay. There's not a bunch, you know. But you're only gonna have so much sort of zen of putting these robots together. Yeah. I spent like an afternoon just doing this. I was like, I like this. I'm good with this.
There's a new trial in Final Fantasy 14 boss fight, basically, and the lady you fight, there's a cut scene in the middle of it. She can make her body parts bigger and stuff.
Wow.
And then, so she literally squats down and her thighs get huge, and she jumps up in the air and then jumps down and slams down on you. But literally every time I've run the trial, some random person is like, oh, thick thighs, like, oh, like mommy, like blah blah blah, and I'm like, god damn it, dude, they knew exactly what they were fucking doing.
Even as a joke, that would get tiresome.
Yeah.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Oh, yeah.
So they're seriously joking. Now you can use your elbows.
I like how Joe just started directly with the pelvis.
It is the most obvious piece. Hey, this goes in the middle. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, there's more than one page of instructions.
Yeah. There's one showing model, there's one showing putting it together, and then there's one showing how you can paint it.
Is it possible that I have more sheets of stuff to cut out?
You should get all of them at the same time, but you know, they're all jumbled together. Most of them have at least 3 or 4. Clank.
Oh, there's the junk.
Nice.
You're like, I hate it.
Yep, that's my problem. Look like shit.
You can.
Yeah.
There's different like levels of it. There's ones that come like painted and shit, or like
Yeah.
they're just like plastic. And
Yeah, and all you're doing is snapping it together. Yeah.
Oh.
Also, the ones that are pre-painted these days, now look much better than what you could get before. Like the manufacturing process is a lot.
Don't worry, Joe. Sunrise will find a way to take your money. Sorry, it's not Sunrise. I guess it's Bandai Namco, right? Sunrise is the anime. Yeah. Never mind. Sunrise makes the anime. That's why my brain went.
I only got the head on mine.
You don't form a Gundam. Well, actually, sometimes you do. Never mind. You don't really form the Gundam. You just like add bits onto it.
Oh, I see. He's got a little skirt.
The battle dress.
Yeah.
Say squirt.
I think we're making the same one. Oh no, okay, I'm doing the first one, the hero. The Pascal space type op unit.
Yeah. Occasionally, some of those kind of pieces are kind of fiddly to get connected. Yeah, most of them are pretty clean, but there's like one or two, a handful of them in each kit that you're like, I know it goes kind of here somewhere, but I don't know what the deal is. You may need to put those little hook pieces, look like on the far right. Those you need to go. Those go in the shoulders, and then the jets go into those. Yep. Right, one way or the other. Yep.
Couple little fiddly bits left that I do not know what to do with.
Lose them in the carpet by accident.
Yep. Those are actually hip pieces that you were fiddling
by
with
accident, Alex.
I mean, you could just not make it if you don't want to make it.
I want to finish. I'm close to finishing.
Oh, good job.
Just more breathy.
That's what Pinhead said.
There you go. Once again, good job.
Those little, not the sort of light bulby looking ones, but the other ones I think go on the back of the shoulders or on the corner of the shoulders. On the far end, but more to the left. They flare out. I think that's what they are. Like behind where the jets are attached. Oh, you know what? Actually, on the other side. Yeah, that's the side I was talking about, but maybe down a little bit. It's hard to tell. Yeah, if you look... Well, actually, no.
So I had one piece that I dragged around and it clicked on behind the dude's gun.
Oh, you know what? The light bulb things go, under the ribs.
You big One Piece fan? You get it?
Yeah.
One Piece is also an anime. People like it. I don't like it, but people like it.
Oh, they're on. Do they go on the front of the chess piece? No, no, that's just paint. That's just the paint. Yeah.
I don't
Look
know,
at
dude.
the
I
look at
only
the
like
first page on the
yeah.
instructions again. Sometimes it's more obvious on a different part of the.
I had 2 symmetrical pieces I didn't know what to do with, and one of them just clicked into place, but I don't know where.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What do I do?
That's there. That's that part. Do they go behind the elbow? Oh, are they? Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yes. Right. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Or have flying toasters.
Yep. That's a screensaver.
Yeah, no, but no one needed a screensaver. After Dark?
After dark. Yeah.
Our namesake.
Yeah. You can use the tweezers if you pull down the thing right below where it says Steed Force Hobby Studio, it'll tell you tips. It'll say like view tips, and it'll tell you like do this with the bin wash. Do that. That's how I found out about the. Yeah.
I'm so jealous of you and you figuring out where all your damn pieces go. Just have this one stupid bracket thing.
Maybe it's just like fill. Like you just
That's what you
click
need for the
it.
masking tape.
Oh, I see now. Oh no, fuck that. Fuck that. You know what the most
Now you
fucked
know
up
why I
thing
didn't
is?
paint any of that shit.
Do you know
I'm
what
like,
the
I'm
most
good just
fucked
putting
up
them
thing
there.
is?
What is the most? Hey, Alex, what's the most
What's
fucked
the
up
most
thing?
fucked up thing? It's not putting Gunpla together and painting them. It's not putting other models together and painting them. It's taking Warhammer models and painting them. Because if you've seen those things, they're not very big. Like, and people paint them like a lot. I'm like, how do you do that? How do you
For some
fucking do
people,
that?
that's the hobby.
Oh, I
They
know.
don't. They don't even.
Absolutely.
They
Yeah,
don't
and
even
they don't
care
even play
about
the
the
game.
fighting part.
Well, by most accounts, the fighting part in the Warhammer games is not that much. It's like not a good war game. Nerd alert.
I like to do something that is like super finicky like that. Like it really bothers. Like it's like I get like uncomfortable. It feels like I'm like grinding my teeth or something. Like but then and so the closest thing I have to do for that on a regular basis is sometimes I have to like if I'm taking something out of a patient at work, I have to cut sutures out. And if the doctor like sutures them in super tight, like it's like I have to get like you have to get tweezers and cut it and it's like such a like fine little thing. It's not hard, but it's like even just doing that, I'm like I fucking hate this. It reminds me of like painting a miniature, which I fucking hate. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. It sucks. It feels bad, but for some people it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I do know what you mean.
Also, you have a whole set of decals that you can apply. So there's 4 of each symbol or each face, and you just group them. You can look at the rules. Yes, right. Yeah, it's showing on. Yep, yep.
Oh, is that the thing that's like on every like Windows computer from like 1990 whatever to whatever?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, from 1990 whatever to whatever.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing.
No, he's not. He's making fun of you, Alex.
Also that.
No. I've been bamboozled.
You can only
He
put one
sent
card in each slot at the top.
Kurt sent me a secret message that said I'm gonna clown on this fool.
That
And then
said,
he
no,
just
I don't agree. That guy's fucking dumb. Just not wrong.
Well, I couldn't figure out where that last piece went, and I'm sad, and I have to stop now because I'm still jet lagged. So I'm going to leave you guys to enjoy your Gundam.
Like, did you have a fun
games.
trip?
So you see, putting that matching chunk up there now reduces the number of things you can throw up, and grouping things together ends up screwing you as well because you can't unwind that. So you end up having this block that you have to work around. Mm-hmm. Yep. You can move the 2, to the far right, to the 1 3 to the left of it, or vice versa. Yeah, is what you're needing to do, but yeah, it takes you a bit to get you. Yeah, yeah. So when you play the harder difficulties, you get less slots up above, and so when you close out a group in a slot at the bottom, you'll open up one so that you don't lose slots, but it stays incredibly tight the whole time. Yeah. So taking a group and putting it into an empty space is basically you're locking yourself in at that point. No, you have to get all the sets together, then you win. Right. With the with the spaces you have. Yeah, exactly. Yep. You got it. Yep, you got it. Nice. Good job. Mm-hmm.
But what a neat idea.
Yep. Yeah. Nice. Mm-hmm. I did. Yeah. I had one through work. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Mm-hmm. Bye.
All right, let's play Monster Hunter. Come on.